Update on Tropical Storm Maliksi, Philippine name Domeng. It's moving away from the Philippine Islands this evening. It's got winds of 45 miles an hour and a pressure of 993 millibars, and it's very broad. It's at 19.8 north, 126.9 east, and no warnings are in effect for the Philippines or for anywhere else at this time, although high wave advisories are in effect on some of the Japanese islands. The forecast over the next few days takes the storm away from the Philippines. Luckily as well, the significant chunk of the wind field was on the eastern side, away from the islands. You can still see it's going to be breezy into the early part of next week, mainly along the coastal areas in the northern half of the country, but nothing in terms of tropical cyclone activity after that. So here's where the storm is right now. Not too far away from the northernmost islands of the Philippines, and as you can see, moving towards the northeast, it will be drawing away from the islands. It's a stage 2 on the CDPS, significant, and because of its size, mainly areas to the east of the storm, thankfully those are very few, will see the main effects of it. And as it does move towards the northeast, Japan could well see some significant activity in the northwestern side, even though it is the weaker side. In the Philippines, during the weekend we may see some significant amount of rainfall. Of course, it's enhanced the monsoon in the area, and apparently 6 buildings have been damaged so far that can be attributed to the storm. No fatalities as far as we know, which is obviously good news. As we enter next week, that rainfall is going to still remain significant, mainly in the west, but it's not going to be tropical cyclone related. And as you can see, that same pattern is pretty much in effect all week long next week. Sea surface temperatures, if you're looking for the next storm, are very warm indeed, and if any storms form in the Philippine Sea or the South China Sea, they're not going to have much trouble at all with those sea surface temperatures. On the right hand side here, the cyclone icon is the storm. On the left hand side, you see a little L there, that used to be a Winyar. It's just inland in China. Both of them are in a pretty low wind shear environment. Domeng could intensify significantly if it can get its structure together. By that, well, let's take a look at the satellite imagery. It doesn't look like it's doing particularly well. That's mainly due to the broadness of the storm. The water vapor imagery there showing an almost complete lack of structure, really. Probably a loose circulation, and more work needs to be done, particularly in the northern side. Convection to the south there, just about reaching the coast of Luzon, so significant rainfall could be occurring there overnight tonight, and that will probably be the final act from this storm, at least with its influence in the Philippines. That's all for now. We'll have more updates on this storm if necessary. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube page, search Force 13, subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page under the same name, and we're also on Twitter. It's @Force13 if you'd like to get in touch or follow our page there. This week, Force 13 also launched a new Patreon page if you'd like to consider helping the project out, supporting it as it goes even bigger and better, as Alex Zaragoza and Hank Dulce has done so far. Please consider it. Take a look at the page. All contributions are invested straight back into the project. You can also add Force 13 on Skype and my personal account, Fool13 at extension 9094 on Discord for tropical weather chat.